Hey everyone, Andrew here, just doing a quick live stream. So if you've got any questions that you want to ask me in relation to horror or movies in general, just let me know. I'll also be doing. Oh, hey Phil, hey Ben. Just started the stream, so welcome to the stream, guys. Um, yeah, if you have any questions for me, just leave them in the chat box. But I just wanted to quickly show you guys a few pickups that I've had recently. Um, so I recently picked up these horror themed playing cards on eBay. So we have the Friday the 13th one, the Elm Street one, and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre one. So yeah, yeah. I can't actually remember how I came across those, Ben, but they just came up in my search, and I thought, you know what, I'd give them a go. No Horror Junkie, unfortunately, I couldn't find any Halloween ones, which was pretty disappointing. The only ones that I could find were these three. Um, but yeah, they're still pretty cool, and I'll be doing a video on them sometime in the future, taking a closer look at them. So yeah, they are pretty cool. Hey Nick, um, thanks for stopping by, mate. Yeah, I've done a lot of eBay purchases, because especially in terms of like more of the horror collectibles, like figurines and stuff like that. eBay is really my only option over here in Australia. So, and I've came across some pretty good deals. Like back in the day when I first got into collecting, I can remember that I picked up the Michael Myers Ghost Sheet figurine for $30, and a lot of my figurines, the older NECA stuff, I've paid around $30 to $40 for, which is a really good price over here in Australia. This is going back years ago now, so they are much more expensive than that nowadays. But when they were still readily available, I got some good deals on eBay, and eBay has done me pretty well. So yeah, hey Geek, hey Phil, hey Horror Devil, hey Horror Junkie. Um, if you guys have any questions for me, let me know. I also picked these up on Amazon as well. The John Carpenter 4K releases. They recently came out over here in Australia. I'm not sure if these are available in the US, but I know the UK released these in box set form. So we'll quickly go through them now. So we have The Fog, Prince of Darkness, which I've never actually seen before, so I'm excited to check that out. They Live, and Escape from New York. So those are pretty cool. Yeah, I love the artwork on them as well, Nick. I really wish that they'd actually had have released the original Halloween movie on 4K over here, with similar artwork to go along with these four, because there's no 4K release of the original Halloween over here in Australia. So yeah, hopefully we get more of the John Carpenter releases. The Thing would be another awesome one under this range that I'd love to pick up. Hey Slasher 101, greetings from Oklahoma. How you doing, mate? I'm sure it's probably pretty late over in the US. I'm not really too sure on the time difference. I know that Australia's a day ahead. It's 2:30 on Monday afternoon over here. So I'm not too sure what time it is for you guys. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about Prince of Darkness, Phil, and I just have never seen it. So I'm looking forward to checking it out. Hey Farley, how you doing, mate? Well, that is pretty late, 12:30. That's normally when I go to bed after I finish work because I do nights. So um, when I'm working, I'm normally up that late still. 9:30 in California, 11:30 in Oklahoma. That's pretty cool. Yeah, the time difference thing's pretty crazy. Like even in Australia, like despite this country being relatively small, especially compared to the US, there's a time difference because Queensland, which is a state up north, they do not have daylight savings. I'm not sure if you guys over in America have daylight savings or not, but um, a couple of weeks ago we went back an hour for daylight savings, but Queensland doesn't have daylight savings, so there's always an hour difference between us. And I think there's like half an hour difference between some other states as well. So that's kind of crazy as well. Yeah, Farley, I'm a big fan of the original Hellraiser. I absolutely love that movie. I have been a bit slack on some of the later sequels. I haven't seen every single Hellraiser movie in the franchise, and I've heard kind of mixed things on it, but it's definitely a franchise that I need to watch at some point because I do own most of the movies. But the original's great, and the first couple of sequels are pretty good as well. Have you got a ballpark on how many times you've watched the original Halloween and how long ago was last view? My last view was last October, so it's been a few months. How many times have I seen it? Uh, mm, Maybe 50 to 100 times, so quite a lot over the years. It's normally a film that I watch at least once a year, and I have done so for quite a number of years now. I mean, there's been times where I've watched it multiple times throughout the year, but I've seen the original Halloween a lot. Is that the Twilight Zone movie or the like the TV series? I do have Netflix. Only 50 to 100. I don't know, Ben. It could have possibly been more, but yeah, I don't really have an exact count of how many times I've seen it, but it's been a lot. Hey, Jeremy, how you going, mate? Okay, so it's the TV show. I've never actually seen the TV series for Twilight Zone, and I've never actually watched the TV series for Tales of the Crypt either. So they're definitely two seasons that I need to get on, and it's actually been a while since I've seen anything on Netflix, so maybe I will check that out at some point. No, I have not seen the new Pet Cemetery Horror Junkie. Unfortunately, my local theatre isn't screening it, um, so I won't get an opportunity to check it out in the theaters. But I'm definitely going to pick it up when it gets released on Blu-ray. Despite a lot of people's opinions on here about it, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing the remake. Yeah, I know, Ben. I know I'm really slacking on that Tales from the Crypt. I like the movies, the Tales from the Crypt movies, but I've just never seen the TV series. In fact, I don't think it ever really got televised over here. But I know there's a DVD set of it, so I'll probably end up picking that one up at some point. Ben and everyone else, actually, did you guys grow up with Goosebumps? That was the sort of main horror themed anthology series that got televised over here, and I absolutely loved Goosebumps. It was a big part of my 90s childhood. Hey Travis, how you doing, mate? Hey Hugh, how you doing? Yeah, I fucking love Goosebumps. I own all the seasons on DVD, and they still hold up really, really well, surprisingly. And I still own quite a few of the books as well. Yeah, Travis, I also like Are You Afraid of the Dark? They also got televised over here in Australia, which was pretty cool. They were fun. That was a fun little series, but I definitely probably prefer Goosebumps a little bit more. Jeremy, yes, despite opinions, I am very, very excited for the Child's Play remake. Um, I'm a massive fan of the franchise in general, and you know, I know there's a lot of debate in the community about this remake, and it shouldn't really be happening because the main franchise is still running, which yes, it is. But I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what they do with this one. I think they've added something different, which is the AI, artificial intelligence doll, and I think it's different enough to be pretty cool. And then the recent announcement that Mark Hamill is going to be voicing Chucky is pretty awesome. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the Child's Play remake. I just really hope it gets a theatrical release over here, because if it doesn't, I'll be pretty annoyed. I'm not sure if any of you guys have heard of another series that's similar to Goosebumps by R.L. Stein. It's called The Haunting Hour. I would definitely recommend that one as well. It's sort of a more mature, kind of a little bit more horror themed anthology series than Goosebumps, but along the same lines of Goosebumps. And yeah, I definitely recommend checking that one out. There's a new Are You Afraid of the Dark film. I did not know about that one. I haven't seen the original, but I have seen the remake, which I did like. Yeah, Goosebumps was definitely more on the campy side of things, but I still liked it. I mean, I was obsessed with the books back in the day, so yeah, Goosebumps was definitely my thing. The Visit, yeah, Travis. The Visit's really, really good. I rate that one pretty highly. Definitely check The Haunting Hour out, Ben. It is pretty good. I don't own any of the DVDs, but um, a couple of years ago it was actually on TV over here, and that's when I first discovered it. And yeah, it is. It's pretty good. It's very similar to Goosebumps, but it's probably a little bit more mature, I guess, in terms of the horror elements. Is everyone super fucking excited for scary stories to tell in the dark? I actually read up about that the other day, Ben, and it does sound pretty good. I don't know too much about it, but it does sound good. Probably the main horror movie that I'm most excited for at the moment is one called Ma M.A. If you have not checked that movie out, there's a trailer up on YouTube. That movie looks awesome. The main character is giving me big Kathy Bates vibes, and that one sounds like it's really, really good. And then, of course, the Child's Play remake, and then, of course, I'm very, very excited for the new Star Wars movie, which is coming out in December. Ben, have you seen the VHS anthology movies? Those are really, really good in terms of modern anthology, especially the first two. The new trailer for Star Wars, Nick. Jason, hey, how's it going, mate? I really hope that you're recovering after surgery, and I especially hope that Frankie is doing well. Yeah, I reckon Star Wars is going to be insane. I mean, I friggin' love The Force Awakens. I think it's absolutely amazing, and I'd probably go as far to say is it's my second favorite Star Wars film. And I really enjoyed The Last Jedi as well, and I'm definitely excited to see where they go with this new movie. I think we're going to get a lot of nice little surprises, I think, in this one. Um, yeah, Jason, I just started the stream about 15 minutes ago, and I just thought I'd jump on for a while and see who's around. And there's a lot of people around, so that's pretty awesome. Hopefully, we get Brad in here at some point, but yeah, we'll see. Have I seen Dead Time Stories? Is that the one that's done by George A. Romero? Um, I if it's the one I'm thinking of, there's actually two kind of like seasons of it, I think, and I've seen parts of the first one, I think, if it's the one that I'm thinking it is. Ah, yes, Horror Junkie. Yep, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Chapter 2, I loved the reboot of it. Definitely a lot more than the 90s. I'm not a big fan of the 90s miniseries, to be completely honest, but yeah, chapter 2 should be pretty cool. And a fun little fact about it, I don't know the kid personally, but the guy that played the main bully in the It reboot actually lives 15 minutes away from where I live in the next town over. So that's pretty cool. I've never met him before. I don't know him, but that's pretty cool. The 80s movie. No, I have not seen that one, Phil. Thanks a lot, Nick. Sweet dreams, mate. And thanks for stopping by. Yeah, so Jason, how's Frankie doing? Is he feeling a little bit better at the moment? Oh, nice. I've got another haul video. Jason, you just missed out, so I'm going to quickly show you what I've picked up recently, but I will be doing a separate video. But Jason, mate, check this out. It's Friday the 13th deck of cards, which is really really cool. And I also picked up an Elm Street set and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre set, which is pretty cool. And I got those off eBay as well. And I think they were only like $10 each, which was pretty good. Have you seen Campfire Tales? I don't think so, although the name does sound familiar. Jeremy, it is 10 minutes to 3 on Monday afternoon. How many copies of Halloween 2018 do I own? At this point in time, I only own one, and it is the 4K release. And I actually have yet to rewatch that one. I saw it in theaters, was pretty disappointed with it, and I just haven't really felt like rewatching it. But I'm saving that one for October. I'm definitely going to be watching that again in October. But yeah, I only own one copy of that at the moment. There's not really that many different variations of releases for that one yet. I'm really hoping that they end up releasing something, another version with an alternate cut perhaps, and I might end up getting that. Have you seen the trailer for the new Wars game coming out in November? No. What is Wars game? Oh, that's good to hear. Um, Jason, we own a pet budgie, and yeah, luckily we haven't had to take him to the vet yet for anything. But yeah, if anything happened to him, I would be freaking the fuck out. I absolutely love animals, so I know how stressful it probably is for you. But I'm glad that he is getting better. The new Star Wars game? No, I didn't actually know there was a new Star Wars game. I do own a PS4 and I am a little bit of a gamer, not as much as I used to be. The last Star Wars game I played was Star Wars Battlefront, like the new one, which was decent. But yeah, I haven't played a Star Wars game since then. Do I like Halloween 3? No, I do not. And it's not just because Michael Myers isn't in it. I just don't think it is a very good movie at all. Um, Even as a standalone 80s horror movie, I just don't think it's good. I will give it the soundtrack's pretty good on it, but yeah, I'm not a fan of the movie. Hi, I just talked to Brad. He said he would definitely stop by. Oh, that is awesome. Um, I'm not sure how you do it, but if Brad comes in and he wants to join in being on camera, I might do that. The new Battlefront games got boring very quickly. Yeah, I did enjoy them. I probably played it for a lot of hours for the first couple of weeks, Hugh, and then yeah, I got over it. I remember the add-on content, like the DLC content, was pretty weak for it as well. Yeah, I can imagine that, Jason. Um, I really, really hope that Frankie does recover very, very soon. Finished my second complete series playthrough of The Walking Dead. I've never been a massive Walking Dead fan. I've seen the first season, and to me, it's too focused on the drama and the characters rather than the zombies. And I don't know, I didn't really get into that show. Um, However, I do like Fear of the Walking Dead a lot more. I find that a little bit more interesting. When it comes to those sort of movies, I really like the backstory on before the virus actually started or just as the virus is starting. I don't know, I tend to find that side of things a little bit more interesting than like just a being chucked in halfway through a full-on outbreak. Yeah, I've never played the Telltale games. In fact, I've never played any of the Telltale games. I know there's a few for different series, but yeah, I've never played them. Did you ever watch American Horror Story? Yeah, I've seen bits and pieces of it, and it is pretty good. It's just another one that kind of got pushed to the back burn. For me, when it comes to TV series, I don't know. I lose focus and I get easily distracted on other things. So if a series is pretty lengthy, which American Horror Story is, and so is The Walking Dead now, I just tend to give up on them if I haven't really been hardcore into it right from the start, because there's just many other things that I like watching. So I'm definitely more of a fan of the shorter seasons of TV shows where you can sort of marathon half a dozen episodes in a couple of days and be done with it. I'm definitely more a fan of that. Brad, hey mate. Um, I'm not sure how you do it, Brad, but if you want to jump on camera, you're more than welcome to join me in the stream. The same for you, Jason, if you want to as well. Charlie, I absolutely love the Romero movies. Well, my opinions on Night of the Living Dead are a little bit different to a lot of other people. I kind of feel that's slightly overrated, but it's still an absolute classic. But Dawn and Day are absolutely amazing, and I also am a big fan of Land of the Dead as well. But don't just stop at the Romero zombie films, because there are a lot of other absolutely amazing zombie films out there. Some of my other favorites are the 28 Days and 28 Weeks Later movies. They're probably close to being the best modern zombies movies. I think they're both really, really good. They kind of introduced the fast moving zombie, and yeah, they're really, really good. Another kind of more recent one is an Asian one called Train to Busan, which, whew, that movie was fantastic. Um, and if you're more into your traditional, like slower moving zombies, I definitely recommend The Dead, which is set over in Africa. That looks absolutely amazing. Like the cinematography in that film is amazing. And as I said, it's got those classic slow moving zombies. If you're a fan of zombie comedies, I highly recommend Shaun of the Dead and Cockneys vs. Zombies. Thanks, bro. If you are doing it on a laptop, you have to send the link and you can copy and paste it in the chat and I can hit it, then delete it. I'm not on a laptop. I'm on a Apple iMac desktop computer. No worries, Jason. Have a good sleep, mate, and thanks for stopping by. This stream has been a lot more popular than I was expecting, so this is awesome. But yeah, Jason, thanks so much for stopping by, mate. And again, my thoughts go out to Frankie. Yeah, Hugh, I was really impressed with Train to Busan. The other thing that I loved about that film as well was how in depth the characters were. Like you really, well, for me anyway, I really cared about the characters, and there was a good storyline with the characters as well. As some absolutely fantastic zombie action. It was a really good balance, and the setting on the train was absolutely fantastic as well. Yeah, Shaun of the Dead. That's a classic. That's a modern classic for sure. Same thing. Just post the invite link in the chat or send it to my email. Is that the link up in the bar? Sorry, I am so stupid when it comes to streaming. I really have no idea. No, I have not seen that movie before, Travis. I have heard of it before, though. I haven't seen a lot of those action Asian films. Like I have not seen Itchy the Killer either, but I have seen some Asian horror, like Dream Home, which is amazing. Oh, and I saw The Devil, which is also really, really incredible. No, it's the window that you are using on the Hangouts. Float your mouse over it. Um, Brad, I'm struggling with this because I'm. Do you mean the window where I'm actually on the camera? Because nothing is coming up here. Hang on, I'll send you a link to the. We'll try this. We'll try this. I'm using YouTube Live. Yeah, I'm not using Google Hangouts. Yep, I certainly do have a DVD, region-free DVD player and a Blu-ray player. Reanimate is great. That's a classic. Um, I have the Arrow DVD window box for Dawn of the Dead. Nice. Yes, that is still out of print. As far as I know there's some German um, sets for Dawn of the Dead that that are available, or at least I think they are. But for the most part, most of the releases for Dawn of the Dead are out of print at the moment. I have, oh, excuse me, I have the Blu-ray window box from Arrow along with a few other releases, but I can't remember the company, but there is a company in the UK that I believe is going to be releasing Dawn of the Dead sometime soon. Nah, that tried to get me to start my own stream. Did you create the event and then start it, or just hit the go? I just hit the go live button, Brad. I think, yeah, I've only got the original release of Reanimator from Umbrella Entertainment, the one with the 2 cuts of the movie. I have not got the sequels yet. Yeah, Brad, I just used the go live now button. Yeah, so does my, well, I actually have the Blu-ray, Charlie, and my one includes the integral cut as well. It's a 2-disc set, the one that I have, which I think is now out of print. No, I definitely used the Go Live. I didn't use the Google Hangouts. Sorry, Brad, because I really want to stream with you. Maybe what we could do is I can do the stream a little bit more now, and then we can cancel, and then we can go over to your channel, Brad, and you can invite me like we did last time. Hugh, Zavvi, I think I haven't ordered from Zavvi for a while. It's Zavvi in the UK, SAVVI, I believe, is how you spell it. And they have free shipping internationally. They're from the UK, so if you're interested in 88 film releases and Arrow releases, they're probably a good bet to go with. And they do offer a lot of steelbooks as well, if that's your thing. I haven't ordered from them for a while, but the few times that I have in the past, they've all been pretty good. The shipping has been free, as I said, and pretty quick. However, if you do buy, like if you do place a bulk order, they sip everything individually, which is kind of weird. You don't get it in like one package. They all just come in like individual envelope things, which is a little weird, but Zavvi are pretty good. 88 Films, the direct website for 88 Films, I think they do international shipping for over £60. I placed an order with them a while back, and the shipping was great. It was really, really fast. And they have quite a few good sales on, so I definitely recommend that. And I'm not sure if you're aware, but you can actually order stuff from Amazon US via the Amazon Australia store, and I would recommend doing that over the Amazon US store, because you can actually, I don't know if you're aware, Hugh, but you can now order directly from Amazon US again. But I'd recommend going through Amazon Australia for that, because it works out to be a little bit cheaper. and I think it's free shipping if you spend over $50 as well, which is pretty good. But yeah, they're the main sites that I recommend. I mostly do most of my ordering from eBay or Amazon Australia because luckily most of my collection was bought many, many years ago, so I don't really have a need to order too much stuff internationally anymore, which is good because it definitely saves on shipping. Because shipping is outrageous. International shipping is just crazy. But yeah, luckily over here in Australia, we now get a lot of releases locally, which is awesome. So I don't have to import as much anymore, which is good. Ben, I got to take my dog out for a walk before bedtime. Ben, thank you so much for stopping by, mate. I really, really appreciate it. Oh yeah, that's fine, Brad. Then I'll just stick around here. I might be streaming again tomorrow afternoon because this has been a lot of fun. So I don't know if you're going to be around at this similar time tomorrow, Brad. But if not, that's fine. Wednesday, there'll be Thursday for me. I probably won't be on because I'm working. But I'm sure there'll be plenty of other times where we can stream together. I haven't got anything from 88 Films before, okay. I haven't got anything from Amazon in a while. I'm glad. Yeah, unfortunately, Hugh, Amazon UK still don't ship over here, which kind of sucks because, to be honest, I'm more interested in releases from the UK at the moment rather than stuff from the US. Although I will say the US do have a lot of 4K releases that I'm interested in. Well, not really so much now, but because I've already got a few. But I do notice that the US get a few 4K releases, especially the older horror stuff that we don't get over here. So it's useful ordering those. And most of the 4K ones are available via the Amazon Australia store for about $25, which is pretty good. And it's honestly what we'd probably pay for the equivalent release over here anyway. And of course, 4K is region free, which is awesome. I'm at work now being a bludger. Mate, where do you work that allows you to sit on a computer watching a stream? Where I work, I'm not going to say it over the stream, but where I work, I don't have access to a computer. So, yeah, I can't bludge and watch streams. 88 Films is awesome, but I bet it's expensive to ship here. No, well, Brad, as I was just saying to Hugh, if you order directly from their website, if you order over £60 worth of movies, the shipping is free internationally. I've gone off Scream Factory. I was really into them when they first came out, but I've kind of lost interest in them a lot lately. There's still a few movies that I want to pick up from them. Like I want to pick up Superstition on Blu-ray, and I really want to pick up American Gothic. But other than that, they just really haven't been releasing much that I'm that interested in, and it's been that way for quite some time. There's just so many other companies around at the moment that are releasing stuff. And luckily over here in Australia, we're getting a lot of releases via Umbrella Entertainment, which is awesome. But if we're going back 5 years ago, we got fucking screwed over big time here as horror fans. And importing was really the only option. But luckily now, you can pick up most stuff locally, which is great. Often, though, you have to wait a while for them to come out. And Hugh and Brad, you might be interested to know, but I've recently added these bad boys to the collection. So we have Escape from New York, They Live, Prince of Darkness, and The Fog. And Hugh, if you're interested in picking these up, these are $23 a piece on Amazon Australia. So yeah, order them. They come with a 4K Ultra HD and a Blu-ray, 2 Blu-rays actually with bonus features. So really good stuff. And all 4 of these are 3-disc sets. So really, really cool. Yeah. Didn't you order American Psycho, Hugh? And as for the 2 Evil Deads, I've recently ordered them. You can order them, both of those from Amazon Australia, actually. I recently picked those up. Oh, yeah, did get Evil Dead and American Psycho from Amazon not too long ago. Oh, you're a warehouse manager. That's pretty cool. I seen those on the JB site the other day. Don't get them from JB. They are $35 at JB, or I think they're part of the buy 2 get 1 free. But I think you're still cheaper getting them on Amazon because, as I said, they're currently $23 a piece. I don't know if you have Prime, but it'll be free. If you have Prime, it'll be free shipping for those as well. Amazon Australia, people fucking shit on that site. I don't know why. For me, they've been absolutely awesome. Their releases are kind of the cheapest anywhere, especially for Umbrella Entertainment stuff. And I live a long way away from the warehouse. I live in a completely different state, and every time I've ordered from them, the stuff's normally shipped out the same day, and I've received it 2 days later every single time. So, yeah, they've been awesome for me. Yeah, the John Carpenter collection. I've seen The Fog. The only one I haven't seen of these before, Brad, is Prince of Darkness. I've never seen that one before. So I'm looking forward to checking that one out with Donald Pleasance. Hugh, did you order... Yeah, you ordered Halloween on 4K, didn't you? Because if not, I definitely highly recommend it. That looks really good on 4K. Dr. Giggles, yeah, I don't know, Brad. After my experience with The Dentist, I don't know, 90s horror is very, very hit and miss for me. And I don't know, it's just something about that era that I just can't get into for some reason. It's hard to explain it. They sort of have that weird comedic sort of element to them that I just don't like. I mean, The Dentist kind of had that. Another one that I don't like from that era is Evil Ed. I don't like that movie as well. And then after watching Nick's review on Dr. Giggles, I'm not looking forward to that. But I will check it out at some point. I'm just not too sure when, though. Really, Brad? I don't know. I think the 4K format is really, really good. Obviously, it's taken a little bit of time for a lot of the horror movies to get released on it, but I would say it's definitely like, I can really notice the difference. I mean, Halloween looks fucking amazing in 4K. It's almost like watching a new movie. It looks really, really good. And obviously, if you're a fan of like the big budget stuff, like the Hollywood mainstream big budget stuff, like the superhero movies, action films, stuff like that, obviously they look amazing in 4K. But overall, you know, I'm pretty satisfied with the format. But I wouldn't say it's essential to upgrade from your Blu-rays at this point in time. I mean, Blu-rays are still absolutely fantastic. Hell, I even still like DVDs. So, Yeah, but you can definitely tell. You can definitely notice the difference with 4K. Some more than others, obviously, but I've been pretty happy with what I've upgraded so far. So, but probably the main reason why we got 4K in the first place is because we needed a new TV, and we just decided to sort of future-proof, I guess, and get a 4K. And then we picked up a 4K player for pretty cheap as well. So, um, yeah, I'm the same, Hugh. I'm really not upgrading everything to 4K. I'm being pretty selective on it because a lot of the 4K releases are just really expensive. Like over here in Australia, as I'm sure you're well aware of, Hugh, you're looking at like $35 to $40 on average for a new release one, and that's just fucking crazy because you can pretty much get the Blu-ray for like $20 to $25. So it's hard to justify 10 to 15 more dollars for the same movie. But I will say though, the prices are coming down. I'm noticing there's a lot of good deals. JB have a lot of good deals. There's a lot of 4Ks on discount on Amazon Australia at the moment. There's a lot for about $16 to $25, which is pretty good. But at this point in time, I'm mostly just looking to upgrade titles that I like, that are cheap, and especially the horror releases, which there's not too many as of right now. I have one 4K. I got it for the Blu-ray. I actually picked up Blade Runner and the It reboot for $9 on 4K at Sanity. So, Hugh, if you have a Sanity store near you and you're looking to pick up some cheap 4K titles, all the ones that have the $14.99 stickers on them are $9 a piece at the moment. They've got 40%. They're having a 40% off sale. Yeah, so the It reboot, Blade Runner, I think the Batman movies and Interstellar are the few that I saw at my local store today that are $9. I think Christine's pretty cheap now. That was really expensive, actually, Hugh, and it took a while to get down in price. But I think I paid about $20 for it on 4K, which was pretty good. $20 is about 20 to 25 is about my top limit for 4K at this point in time. Hey Horror DVD. Yeah, I picked up a few. Well, that's how you found out about them, I believe. But those $9 to $10 burn on demand DVDs from eBay have been pretty cool. If it wasn't for that, I would never own a copy of Clown House. The cheapest 4K here is $30. Really? Because Brad, I've seen like I picked up. Nah, you can get them cheaper than that on Amazon US. Because I picked up American Psycho, Halloween, and the Two Evil Dead 4K discs for about $23 Australian. So it's even less than that in America. And I think I've actually seen the Halloween 4K as cheap as $15 too, over in America. But yeah, if you're not looking to upgrade to 4K at any time soon, Brad, it's not really worth picking up the movies unless you can get like the Blu-ray combo packs. David Cooper. Mm, did I like the new Halloween? I was pretty disappointed with it. I've actually posted a review. I saw it in theaters and I haven't rewatched it since then. I was pretty disappointed in it, to be completely honest. I didn't think it was a terrible movie, but to me, The biggest issues that I had with it were that there were way too many characters that went nowhere, and I hated the twist with the Doctor, and to me, there wasn't enough on-screen gore. That was kind of disappointing. But I will say there were some positives. Jamie Lee Curtis coming back, she was amazing. I think James Jude Courtney, was it? He was fucking amazing as Michael Myers, and he had big shoes to fill, but he nailed it. And the soundtrack was fantastic. But for me, it would have been a little bit better if they'd had less pointless side characters, had Michael and Laurie as brother and sister still, had it a direct sequel after the original Halloween 2, and had more of a focus on Laurie and her granddaughter, and more on-screen gore kills. It would have been a lot better. But I still need to rewatch it. I do own it on 4K, so I need to give it another go, and hopefully I'll like it a little bit more on second viewing. But it wasn't bad, but overhyped, definitely. Yeah, we don't have Walmart and Best Buy over here in Australia. We have a store called JB Hi-Fi, Brad. I'm sure you've heard me mention them before. They are pretty much the main retailer when it comes to movies. I'd say they're basically the equivalent to Best Buy. We've got another store called Big W, which I guess is the equivalent to Walmart. They sell some movies. And then there is another chain called Sanity, which sell movies and music. But their stores are few and far between now. But yeah, most of my purchases are online, because the closest JB Hi-Fi store to me is an hour away, so I don't get to go there that often. And I don't like ordering stuff from JB online because they charge a little bit for shipping. Random question, but do you have any of the postcards from Bad Taste DVD? No. I think there's only 2 postcards, and I did have them, but I can't find them anymore, Hugh. So that sucks. But that is an old DVD. That Australian DVD was old. I don't know you how long you've been collecting movies, but can you remember a store? They were in they were in Maya stores. They were kind of like Sanity. They were called Virgin Records, I believe. That's where I picked up my Bad Taste from many years ago, from one of those stores. But yeah, sadly, I have misplaced my postcards, which sucks. Yeah, I was definitely pleased that John Carpenter was back for the new Halloween. The soundtrack was incredible. Exactly, horror DVD. That is another huge issue that I had with it, especially considering that there was such massive emphasis before this movie came out. Oh, we're going to forget all about the Halloween sequels. None of them have ever existed. And they just reshot way too many scenes that we've seen before. There was definitely a massive lack of originality in that movie, which is another issue that I have with it. Some people may like the little nods and reshoots of the past sequels. I just kind of felt that it was lazy to me, that they really couldn't think of anything else to do, and it just sort of bothered me a little bit. Andrew, did you like the new Halloween better than the first Rob Zombie Halloween? Fuck no. I love the Halloween remake. I don't care what anyone says, Brad. I know you're not a big fan of it, but I love Rob Zombie's Halloween. Love it. Sorry, I disagree. Best horror in 20 years, and thank God it wipes out those god-awful remakes. Best horror movie in 20 years? Are you fucking crazy, boy? Not even close. Wow. Really? You honestly think that Halloween 2018 is the best horror in 20 years? Horror DVD, yes I am. We'll show you them for the third time. I actually picked up the 4K releases from Amazon UK. Oh, not Amazon UK, Amazon Australia. So we have The Fog. Sorry guys, but I just quickly want to show Horror DVD. The Fog, Prince of Darkness, They Live, and Escape from New York. Horror DVD, if you own a Blu-ray, I don't know if you own 4K, but if you own a Blu-ray, pick up these releases because they are 4K and Blu-ray, and they're 3 disc sets, by the way, and they come with 2 Blu-rays in the 4K, and they are currently $23 a piece on Amazon Australia, which is really cheap. I think the Blu-ray counterparts are 15, which is a pretty good deal if you're not interested in 4K. I remember I had a few CDs with the Virgin sticker, but I can't remember them. Yeah, they were like a red, they had red T-shirts and they had like a red banner, kind of similar to the Virgin Airlines, and they were in the Myer stores. But this is going back like early 2000s, I'm talking, so quite a while now. And I don't think they lasted too long. They haven't been around for ages, since the early to mid 2000s. Oh, then you definitely don't don't remember Virgin then, yeah. If you want, you can pick up the Bad Taste Australian DVD for pretty cheap on eBay. Like I always see copies floating around. I'm talking like under $10. So I probably should do that just to get the 2 postcards back again. But I'm really hoping that movie gets a Blu-ray release at some point. Nope, it was my fave in the last 2 decades, but it is my fave franchise, my fave character, and my fave genre. My second fave, maybe Friday the 13th remake. I'd love to discuss. Brad, I fucking love that remake, man. The Friday the 13th remake is fucking amazing. Now, I know we've had slight discussions on this in the past, but when I first saw the remake was when it basically first came out. So what was that, like 2009 or something? And I did not like it. I didn't like it at all. And I'd never bothered rewatching it until fairly recently, actually, like before I did the Friday the 13th franchise ranking. But fucking hell, man, that remake is bloody amazing. To me, it's like the best of the Friday the 13th franchise. Jason's amazing in it. The kills are absolutely phenomenal. To me, it's like kind of like a reboot of the first 3 to 4 movies. I fucking love the way Jason finds the mask in the barn. And I love the underground setting. I thought that was pretty awesome. The music's good. The only issue that I have with it is the Trent character, I believe. I didn't like him. And I still feel there's a little bit too much emphasis on drugs. But other than that, the remake is amazing. And I don't know, man. It's difficult to say because I love the Halloween remake, but Friday the 13th remake could possibly be the best remake of the major franchises. Maybe. Yeah, I didn't see it in theaters. I only saw it when the Blu-ray came out because like it's got a little bit better here in Australia, like in the past few years, but back in the day, like I don't know, 5 to 10 years ago, we'd get bugger all horror theatrical releases. Like hell, my local theatre didn't even get Wolf Creek 2 for fuck's sake, and that is an Australian movie. Luckily, a theatre half an hour away got it, so I got to see it. But yeah, Australia, like it's good now, but 5, 10 years ago for horror, like both release wise on DVD, Blu ray, and cinema releases, it was pretty bad. Trent's death was probably my favorite kill within that movie. That was so satisfying. That is one thing I will say, especially when it comes to slasher films. If a character annoys me, I'm waiting the entire time for them to die. I know that sounds pretty sick. And if their kill is really, really good, I am so fucking satisfied. It was the same with Claire's death in Curse of Chucky. For me, she was my least favorite character, and her kill was so fucking satisfying. But yeah, Trent's death was awesome. Top 10 remakes. Oh, I'm definitely going to do a response to that one. Definitely. I know a lot of people shit on remakes, but you can't deny there's been some fucking good remakes. And you can't deny that there's been good remakes of really, really classic popular horror films. Like, we're talking Friday the 13th remake, which is amazing. Dawn of the Dead remake was amazing. The Maniac remake is incredible. Hills Have Eyes, amazing. So yeah, for the most part, I'm a fan of remakes. I enjoy seeing what people do with classic horror and their modern take on it. I don't care what anyone says. So yeah. I wish we still had video stores. I loved Monday nights was X rental day. There's actually one video store in my town that's still going. I don't really rent movies out anymore, but they're a pretty decent store. They have a good range of DVD and Blu-ray. There used to be 3 other stores in this town where I live, but they all closed down many, many years ago. They had sales when they were closing down, and I picked up a few things. But yeah, sadly, rental stores are a thing of the past. If it wasn't for rental stores, I wouldn't be the movie fan that I am today, because I used to rent movies on VHS every single week. Like, I'm actually from New Zealand. I don't know how many of you know that. And I've been living in Australia for about 14, 15 years now. But over in New Zealand, I lived in a relatively big city, and there used to be a video store in every suburb. And my family would be members of a lot of different stores, and I can remember going around every single week pretty much renting VHS. They used to have like weekly deals, like 5 or 7 weekly movies for $10. So you'd rent it out every week, have the movies for a week, and then return it, and then I would rent some more out. I miss those days. I'm actually going to upload a video probably either this week or next week. There was a really, really awesome store called Alice in Videoland, and the main central theme was Alice in Wonderland. But they had such an amazing selection of films, and they'd have all the different genres would be in a different section, and the different genre sections would be themed. So you'd have like different posters around, different things on the wall and ceiling that were dedicated to that particular theme, and it was just absolutely amazing. That store is actually still open, which is crazy, because Christchurch, which is originally where I'm from, had a massive earthquake several years ago, and fortunately that building remained pretty unscathed. So it's still open, and they actually have built a cinema behind that store now, so that's pretty cool. But it's been ages since I've been back to New Zealand, so I haven't been to that video store in quite some time, but I'm planning to upload a video in the next couple of weeks talking a little bit more about it. But good memories, good memories. Okay, sorry, I'm just backtracking on a few comments. Andrew, who would win if they did a Michael versus Jason? As much as I'd like Michael to win, I think Jason would. I think Jason is a little bit stronger than Michael, although Michael is smarter, so I don't know. Do you remember a YouTube guy called Topicat or Topicat, something like that? He was from New Zealand. The name does sound familiar. The only guy from New Zealand that I can remember is a guy called Fletch13, I think. He hasn't been around for ages, but he used to upload a lot of good movie haul videos. I worked at Video Easy and Blockbuster. I kept the horror VHS. Sadly, I never got VHS. I never really got it. Like, I just rented it. I never bothered collecting for that format, sadly. And when the video stores closed down here, it was when they had the DVDs and stuff. So I'd love to collect VHS. Like, it'd be an absolute dream to have a room set up entirely of VHS, done up like a video store. But unfortunately, I do not have the space for that. As a metal and horror fan, have you ever seen Gore's Palace in Wonderland? No, I haven't. I'm not really overly familiar with that band either. I have heard of them. Jarvis Hut. I remember Jarvis Hut. Yeah, he was awesome. He has been gone for years though. But yeah, he was one of the earlier guys. So unfortunately, there's not a lot of Australian YouTubers, or at least that are still around. There's myself, there's Adam Paul Beaumont, YouTube Reviews, and another guy called Explosive Action. And if you're not subscribed to him, I definitely highly recommend it. He's been around for ages. He's an awesome guy from Sydney, and his collection is absolutely amazing. It's better than mine. So check out Explosive Action if you haven't. But other than that, I don't really think there's that many Aussie guys that upload regularly anymore, which is a shame. Did Jarvis Hut die? I have no idea. I have no idea. I had no idea that he was sick. Really, that's surprising. They are pretty big in Japan and Australia. They tour there quite a bit for American band. I have heard of them, Brad, but I haven't really listened to much of their stuff before. Are you going to any of the Metallica and Slipknot shows later this year? Nope, I am not a fan of Slipknot, and Metallica is a little bit hit and miss for me. It's not metal related, but me and my partner are massive fans of the Bee Gees, and we're actually going to go to a Bee Gees concert next month, which is pretty cool. Like, obviously, it won't be the official Bee Gees playing. It's like a cover band, but apparently the cover band is really, really good, and I'm looking forward to that. You love Slipknot. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't listened to a lot of this stuff, but I'm not a big fan of Slipknot. Andrew, you remember the end of the new Halloween where Jamie's granddaughter was holding the knife? Do you think she might use it in the next movie? I just got a feeling she might. I'm not sure, but if in the next movie, I definitely hope there is more of an emphasis on the granddaughter, because I thought she was really, really good. Like, more of a relationship between Jamie Lee Curtis and the granddaughter would be awesome. That was something that I definitely felt was lacking in the 2018 film. But yeah, my hopes for the sequel would be more of a relationship with Jamie and the granddaughter, more on-screen gore, and more originality, and no pointless oversaturation of characters. So pretty much everything that I disliked about the first one. My dad was a big Bee Gees fan, not me, but Staying Alive is a fun song. I really like the Bee Gees, Brad. And there's a place up in Queensland called Redcliffe. That's where they were from. That's where they grew up. And there's actually a like a monument walkway called Bee Gees Way up there, which is decked out with a couple of statues of them, a whole lot of photos, some like a TV set up there, which shows a lot of like footage of them and like performing and stuff like that. And there's music playing. It's really, really awesome actually. But I love those guys, and I also love the Beatles. To me, they are classic bands. If we're not talking about heavy metal, um, those two are my favorite non-metal bands, probably. If you had to pick someone to remake Jaws, whom would you pick? Um, I'm actually surprised no one's remade Jaws. I really am. Um, I wouldn't be against it. Um, I think it could do with an updated reboot. As for who I'd like to direct it, I'm going to go with Steven Spielberg. I I'm a massive fan of Spielberg, and I would absolutely love him to come back to the horror genre. So yeah, I'll go with Spielberg. Would you like to see a Scream remake? Blumhouse. Really? They want to remake Scream. Wow. I'm not a fan of Scream. I don't think it's held up very well. Like, I respect it for what it's done to the slasher genre. Like, it basically bought, I wouldn't say it reinvented the slasher genre, but it definitely brought the slasher genre back. But I don't know. I don't feel the movies hold up very well. I definitely think they are a product of its time, and I am not excited if they remake it. It's There's no point in remaking it, honestly. To me, it's pointless. Jaws, like Halloween, should not be remade. I don't know, Brad. I honestly think that a Jaws, like a modern Jaws reboot, could be pretty good. What if Rob Zombie did Jaws? I don't think Rob Zombie would do Jaws. It's not his type of movie. Yeah, I don't think there'd be any reason for him to direct it. For someone to direct Jaws, you'd need someone with experience in the creature feature genre, for starters, and Rob Zombie has none. So I don't. I'm not a big Rob Zombie fan. Um, I think he's a very one-dimensional character, and I think if he wants to grow as a horror director, he needs to kind of get away from the stuff that he's doing, because all his movies are very, very similar. They have the same style, they have the same characters, and yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. Roger Corman, does anyone know if The Exorcist is the remake of The Exorcist still happening? Because I did hear talk of that. I'm not sure when or if it's actually happening, but I have heard some rumors of that. And I've also heard some rumors that there's another Elm Street reboot happening, which could be pretty cool. You hope not for what, Brad? The Exorcist remake or the Elm Street reboot? I've heard about the Elm Street one. Yeah, I'd like to see a new Freddy film, and I definitely want it to be in vain to the original, like the more serious tone. Especially now that I'm kind of a little bit more into the franchise than I used to be. I'm definitely keen to. I just want more horror movies. Yeah, just keep them coming, I say. Whether it's a reboot to a popular franchise, a remake, or just original stuff, I just keep making them, keep making them. But I think we're at a really good place right now in terms of horror, like probably the best we've been in quite a while, because there's a lot of originality coming into the genre, like especially last year with stuff like Hereditary, A Quiet Place, Bird Box. Like they're sort of going through that kind of sensory horror at the moment, which is really, really awesome. Then we had Us, which recently came out. So there's a lot of original stuff, and then there's some reboots and remakes happening. And I think it's a really good balance right now. So I'm really hoping that that continues. You didn't like Hereditary, Hugh? Um, what didn't you like about it? I thought it was absolutely fantastic. I thought it definitely lived up to the hype, and yeah, I thought it was really, really good. I think Tony Collette was absolutely amazing in that one. I'd love Robert Englund to come back as Freddy for one last time. I think that would be pretty awesome. I have never seen A Clockwork Orange. Can you believe that? Never seen it. Did you like Evil Dead Army? No, I'm not a big. I love the Evil Dead franchise, but I'm not a fan of Army of Darkness. I'm not a fan of sort of silly comedic horror for the most part. So I did not like Army of Darkness. I seen it on Netflix. I think the themes were great and it was a good movie. I just don't understand a huge amount. Yeah, that's fair enough. A lot of people have that same opinion. They think it's good, but they think it is overhyped. But I thought it was fantastic. I loved it. Do you collect Arrow Video? Do you own any window box releases? Yep, I own a few of the window box releases. I've been collecting Arrow since they first started releasing Blu-rays back in like what was it like 2011, 2012. Um, they're probably my favorite company. I think they've released some absolutely amazing releases and movies over the years. I've kind of slowed down on collecting them a little bit, probably the past 2 to 3 years, but I'm a massive fan of Arrow Video. Um, yeah, probably my favorite label. So yes, I do collect Arrow Video. You're killing me, bro. Really? Army of Darkness is your favorite Evil Dead film? Wow. Yeah, I remember you commenting about that horror DVD in my review video. That's fair enough. I mean, with us, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I will say the ending was kind of weird, and they kind of didn't really necessarily need to go the direction that they did. And that's all I'm going to say on that. But other than that, I liked it. It did take me a couple of days to process how I really felt about the movie, and the ending's kind of grown on me a little bit, and it's definitely got a pretty good social commentary and a pretty relevant one. But did they need to go down that way? I'm not sure. I'll definitely check out that Evil Dead 2 review. I love Evil Dead. I mean, the original was a classic. I love part two. I love the remake. I thought the remake was really, really good, or the reboot. And I like the TV series. I haven't seen all of the TV series. I've only seen the first 2 seasons. Ash vs Evil Dead is great, but yeah, just not a fan of Army of Darkness. Have you seen Green Street Hooligans yet? No, I haven't. I have not seen. I don't even own Green Street Hooligans. I've heard of it before though. 88 Films have stopped releasing the slasher classics. No new. Really? So they're not. They've completely stopped focusing on that line now. That sucks because the slasher classics was awesome. They released some really, really good stuff over the years. So if that's true that they are no longer going to be releasing anything under that line, that's crap. That's crappy. I've noticed, yeah, I've definitely noticed they're focusing more on the sequel releases with the slipcovers and more on the Italian line again. But I had no idea they completely gave up on the slasher classics. Are you sure? I'm not sure if any of you have heard, but one recent announcement from Arrow Video that I'm really excited about is The Prey, which is a pretty, I've never seen it before. I think it's only available on VHS. It's a pretty underrated, obscure slasher film from the 80s. Arrow have announced that recently, and I'm really looking forward to that because I've been wanting to see that one for quite a few years now. But other than that, I don't think there's a lot of releases that I'm really on the lookout for as of right now. I thought Boar was awesome. I really had a lot of fun with Boar. The Aussie humor's on point. I really liked the characters. It had a lot of well-known Aussie actors in it, which is awesome. And for the most part, I thought the Boar effects were really, really awesome. And that reminds me, speaking of Australian horror, Brad, I got your copy of Charlie's Farm in the mail today, so I won't have a chance to post it out this weekend this week, because this is Easter week. But next week at some point, I'll send it out to you for sure. So I think I've still got your email, so I'll email you, grab your address, and then I'll post that out to you. But yeah, that arrived today. So. And Brad, or anyone else that's watching from America, do you guys have Easter? Easter over here is a 4-day weekend, so we have Good Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Easter Monday. And then we have like Easter eggs and stuff like that. I don't know if that's a thing anywhere else. Yeah, I like the Insidious movies, and I love the Conjuring films. That's another movie that I'm looking forward to checking out too. There's a new Annabelle movie coming out later this year, which looks pretty good. But yeah, The Conjuring, especially the first one, that movie's good. I haven't seen. Oh, excuse me. I haven't seen The Nun yet. What is your second favorite horror film after Halloween? The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original. My top 5 horror movies are as follows: Halloween, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Bad Taste, Child's Play 2, and Day of the Dead. Sweet bro, we have Easter, but it's a Sunday and we don't get any extra days off work. But I am taking. That sucks because like Easter's a pretty big thing over here, and basically it's a 4-day long weekend. So no stores are open at all Good Friday. So if you're scheduled to work Good Friday, you still get paid for it, which is awesome because I work Friday, so I'll be getting paid. And at least where I work, Saturday's a public holiday, Sunday's a public holiday, and so is Monday. So if you're working all those days, you get it off and you get paid for it, which is sweet. Do you guys get that in America? Like if you're working on a public holiday, you get to take it off and you still get paid? Because we do, which is awesome. And then the following Thursday after Easter is a day called Anzac Day, which is like a remembrance day for the Anzac soldiers from Australia and New Zealand, and that's a public holiday as well. Didn't Easter originate from Britain, I believe? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not religious. All I know is that Easter is a weekend and I get paid for not working, so that's pretty sweet. I'm off now. These live streams are cool. Thanks so much for stopping by, Hugh. Have a good one, mate, and I'll catch you later. Have I seen the TV cut of Child's Play 2? No, I have not, but I have seen the added scenes on YouTube, though. Yeah, we get good penalty rates where I work, and we actually got a pay rise, which recently too, which was pretty awesome. Whereabouts do you live in Australia? I live in Perth. I'm not comfortable to give my location away, but all I'm going to say is I live in New South Wales. Brisbane, nah. I live kind of close to Brizzy. I used to live in Brisbane actually when I first moved over here. Brisbane's awesome, great city. I love it. That reminds me, what do you think about the new Chucky movie coming soon? Hi, Brad. I'm looking forward to the Child's Play remake. I know Brad isn't, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with this whole AI business, and I'm kind of glad that they're doing something different, um, like incorporating it with today's technology. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do. I just hope they keep basically the ultimate thing, and I have kind of heard that they are mostly using puppets again for Chucky, which is good. But I really hope they keep the CGI to a minimum CGI. But I'm looking forward to it. Depends on where you work. My company only recognises 6 holidays, and Easter is not one of them. Well, over here in Australia, I think we have less official holidays than you guys do in the US because we don't have Thanksgiving. Halloween's not really a thing, and we don't have the 4th of July. Basically, what we have is we have Christmas, and Christmas is a big thing over here because the school holidays happen across Christmas, and a lot of businesses shut down for at least 2 weeks over that period. So the whole sort of couple of weeks of Christmas and New Year's are basically a holiday over here. All stores, as far as I know, are closed Christmas Day, Good Friday, and I think that's it. But we have a few other um, like holidays as well, like days off. We have like public holidays is what they're called over here. We have Australia Day, which is basically the equivalent to 4th of July. That's in January. Then we have Easter, Anzac Day, Labor Day, which I think is in October, um, and then Christmas, and I think that's about it. In my country, you get paid on holiday Thursday, Friday, Monday, and during Easter weekend. That's pretty sweet, Titanic. Brisbane's hot. Where I am, it's about mid-20s. We've had so much rain though, like the past couple of days, I mean, the past couple of weeks, horror DVD, it's been really, really showery, like off and on. And I think that's meant to continue up into next week, actually. So it's kind of annoying, but there's been a big drop in temperature. Like it's pretty much gone to summer, then to coolness. There's been no in between for us, really. We have public holidays just to get on the piss. Pretty much horror DVD. All the religious holidays are big there, same as Europe. Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, pretty much, Brad. Foundation Day. What is that? I actually saw the new Hellboy trailer. Like, I'd completely honest here, I didn't even know there was a new one coming out until I saw the trailer. And sorry, yeah, I didn't know there was a new Hellboy movie coming out until I saw the trailer when I was seeing Us, and I thought the trailer looked good, but that new Hellboy's been getting caned at the reviews. Like the reviews have been pretty mediocre for that movie, but to me it looked good. Melbourne Cup should be our national holiday. Yeah, I agree. I think I think we get a picnic day at our work for Melbourne Cup, but I'm not 100% sure though. God, everyone is pissing on that movie, and yeah, I know. I thought the trailer looked really, really good, and then like I looked more into it because I'm not that familiar with the Hellboy movies to begin with. Like I've seen the first one, and I've only seen it once. I haven't seen the. Is there two or three? I know there's at least two. But anyway, to me, the trailer looked really, really good. And then when I came home, I read up a bit more on it and discovered that it had a little bit more of a darker tone. But yeah, that movie's been getting some harsh reviews. So it's definitely not a movie that I'll be seeing in theaters. I'll probably wait until it gets released on Blu-ray. Ron Perlman wanted to be Hellboy again. I was looking. But Brad, the thing is, man, it still could be good. Like people could be shitting on that movie and we could think it's good. Like I don't base reviews on whether I'm going to watch a movie or not for the most part. For the most part, especially these big budget movie critics. For me, if a movie looks good and I want to see it, I'll see it. It's the same with the Pet Sematary remake. Like that one has not been getting very good reviews at all, but I'm pretty keen to watch it. And even Us, like Us is another prime example. That's been getting a lot of mixed reviews. Like it's that movie's definitely a love or hate movie for sure. Adam, I was wondering if you would make it to the stream. Welcome to the stream, Adam. It's good to see you, mate. So, what is the rating system in the US? Oh, I always judge for myself, but when a lot of reviewers I trust say. I actually haven't watched any reviews for Hellboy on YouTube. I don't really follow big review channels here on YouTube. But I have read a few reviews and they haven't been too positive either. Just got off work. I hope work went well for you. Luckily, well, not luckily, but today is my day off, which is good. So I didn't have to work today. Adam, we'll quickly go over some purchases. Sorry to everyone else that's seen these before. But Adam, I definitely wanted to let you know about these. I don't know if you have 4K, but the John Carpenter movies recently got released over here in Australia. And if you go to Amazon Australia, the 4K plus Blu-ray is $23 a piece. So I picked up Escape from New York. They Live. Prince of Darkness. And The Fog. So yeah, Adam, $23 a piece for these or $15 for the Blu-ray on Amazon Australia. We have we have 4 ratings over here, I think. G, which is general audience, PG 13 or PG, which is like parental guidance for people under the age of 13. M, which is pretty much the standard for most horror movies, I feel. I think we have MA plus, but I'm not 100% sure. And then we have R18. Yes, we do have MA 15 plus. Right there. So yeah, we have 4 main rating systems over here. Yeah, see, I don't follow Cody Leach or Drum Dums at all. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen a video of Cody Leach's. I've seen a couple from Drum Dums. But I don't know, I just don't really have an interest in following the bigger channels. I don't know why. I have nothing against them, but Plus, I don't really like following strictly review channels. Like, I like to see a mixture of videos from someone. I like to see reviews from people. I like to see other videos like top 10 lists, collection overviews, update videos, stuff like that. So if a channel is solely based on reviewing, I'm not entirely interested for the most part. I got the Fog Remaster on Blu-ray the other day from JB Hi-Fi. Nice. Hi guys, I'm on the way to work. Tony, Horror and Todge, my man. Welcome to the stream. Tony, I've been loving your videos lately. Your out and about pickup videos, they have been awesome. I love The Fog. I go between The Fog and The Thing as my second favorite Carpenter movie, actually. I love the atmosphere in The Fog. I got to go to bed, guys, even though I don't want to. I hate working. Brad, thank you so much for stopping by the chat. And I mean the stream. And Brad, thank you for motivating me to start doing my own streams. These are a lot of fun. And we'll definitely have to do a stream together again sometime soon. And Brad, I'll email you at some point because, yeah, I'll post off Charlie's Farm to you next week. Do you? I've shopped at cash converters in the past a little bit before. The closest one to me is an hour away, so I don't really get to go to it too often. I find them a little bit hit and miss, to be honest. Like a lot of the times, most of the movies that are there that I would be interested in, I already own. But I have actually heard that they're no longer selling DVDs and Blu-rays. I don't know if that's true. That's just what I've heard. But no, I don't really shop at cash converters that much. You still haven't seen Charlie's Farm, Adam? Do you own it? Because if not, get on that. Get on that. It's an absolutely amazing slasher. Yeah, this is my first official stream. I tried one before and I got a bit confused with it, Tony, and I only streamed for like 10 minutes, and I don't think anyone was in the chat, but I thought, you know what, I'm not doing anything this afternoon, I'll jump on, and this chat has been really popular right from the start, which has been awesome. And I've also been in a couple of Bronco streams before, like when he streams with multiple people at the same time. That was the first stream I ever did, was that one, and I really enjoyed that. But yeah, this is the first official stream that I've done by myself. I can't always do them, but today I'm home by myself, so I can do them, and it's pretty awesome. I worked for Cashies for 12 years, not much horror made out of the shop floor. I remember, like, I used to be into video games a lot. Not so much anymore, but I used to be. And I can remember cash converters being pretty decent for that. But yeah, I haven't really purchased that many movies from cash converters. And excuse me, guys, my throat's getting really dry. So I'm just going to get some water and I'll be back in a second. Water. No, no, David, I do not have a Nintendo Switch. I haven't even played one. I had a Nintendo Wii and a Nintendo. What was the Wii U? I had that as well. But I don't really game as much as I used to. I don't really have a lot of time for that now. And when I did collect games, I was finding I was buying games but not really playing them, or I'd play them for a couple of hours and not go back to them, move on to something else. And to me, it was kind of a waste of money and time. So now I kind of only play a couple of games and mostly focus on movies. There's just not enough time or money to kind of do both for me. So, and since I'm more into movies, I tend to focus more on that. I don't have kids, um, and I think I'm stuck for time. I can't imagine having 3 kids. Um, yeah, that would be difficult for me, I think, because I like having my time to myself, being able to do what I want. Okay, Tony, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it and have a good day at work. So, Adam, you said that you picked up The Fog. Are you going to pick up Prince of Darkness, They Live, and Escape from New York at all? I just can't get over how cheap they are, Horror Lake. I know they're back catalog titles, but 23 bucks for like a 3 disc 4K Blu-ray combo pack is fucking good. And like even the Blu-rays I think are about $15 a piece, which is good for Australian standards. That's really, really good actually. And with this new artwork as well, it's pretty cool. I really wish that they'd actually release the original Halloween to go along with these 4, um, because I know like these are all under Studio Canal, so probably Studio Canal doesn't have the rights to the original Halloween. But I'm just saying it would have been pretty sweet if the Halloween got a 4K release with similar artwork to this under this range. Would have been pretty cool. The Fog I paid 15. Yeah, that's really good pricing. God, the prices in Australia have really dropped. Like I know for 4K new releases, the prices are still up there, but a lot of back catalog stuff's like, or not, yeah, back catalog releases like from Umbrella Entertainment and that are about $15 to $20, which I think is pretty good, especially for Australia. Um, Ghosts of Mars does have a older Blu-ray release, but I think that's out of print. Well, I know it's out of print, and I think it's kind of hard to find. We've never had a Blu-ray release of Vampires over here. I love Vampires. I think it's a pretty underrated John Carpenter film. I know there's a UK release of that one, but yeah, I'd love a Blu-ray release of Vampires. I've never seen Ghosts of Mars, but Vampires is pretty cool. So horror DVD was you that I sent some movies to last year, wasn't it? Yeah, I thought so. Because I hadn't seen you around YouTube for a while after that, but I definitely remembered that. And I hope your son's doing better now because I know that he had an accident. I have one Vestron Blu-ray Titanic, and that is of The Gate. Oh no, two. I have The Gate and Chopping Mall. The only other one that I'm really interested in getting that I don't have is Slaughter High. David, yes, I have seen Mandy, and I really enjoyed that one a lot. It was actually in my top 10 of 2018 video. Mandy's good. It's very different. It's very trippy. Um, but again, going back to the originality of recent horror, Mandy definitely falls under that category. And Nicolas Cage's performance in that was amazing. Yeah, I say Mandy's definitely worth getting. Ah, we had a troll appear. Well, I've got rid of that. Did you get the Blu-ray for Offerings or the DVD? Offerings is good. It's a blatant Halloween ripoff, but for what it is, it's pretty good. Thank you very much, David Cooper. You know what, David? Next year will be my 10th year, my 10-year anniversary on YouTube, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, Titanic, Slaughter High was released on the Vestron label on Blu-ray. Great slasher, one of my favorite 80s slasher movies. How many Blu-rays do I have in my collection? Um, I have quite a lot. Probably, mm, probably between six and seven, 800 maybe. And I have a lot of DVDs still as well. You've been watching my channel for 7 years. Wow, that's crazy. You are one of the OGs. The thing with YouTube is when I first joined, the horror community was pretty much in its prime. And it kind of remained that way for probably about 3 to 4 years. And then it kind of completely went dead pretty much for like almost 3 years, which was kind of crazy. A lot of people left and it just wasn't that popular. And then it's only sort of been probably in the past 1 to 2 years when a lot of new people have joined that it's really revived again. And it's in a good place at the moment. So hopefully it remains that way. But yeah, the horror community is definitely not what it used to be, unfortunately. Because back in the day when it was in its prime, it was awesome. Have I seen Summer Camp Nightmare? That was one of the burn on demands that I got for $10, but I still have not seen that movie, so I cannot. Um, Yeah, I did take a break. I think I took a break of like 4 to 5 months maybe. I just needed a break. I was kind of over it, to be honest. The community was kind of dead at that point in time. I wasn't really purchasing many things at that point in time, so I definitely took a break, and much needed break, I think, because yeah, like it'll be 9 years on YouTube this September, which is a long time. That is a long time. But I've enjoyed it. Like I've met so many great people on here. I'm really grateful for all my subscribers that I've got. Um, like I'm not gloating, but I'm pretty proud to have one of the higher subscriber counts within the horror community. And if it wasn't for YouTube, I honestly wouldn't have the collection that I do today because I've discovered so many amazing horror movies from people on here. So for that, yeah, I'm really grateful. Yeah, I did have a gaming channel for a little while, but as I said, I didn't feel I was getting what I wanted out of gaming, like time wise. I was buying more games than I was playing, and it just got to the point where I wasn't really happy um, with video games because I wasn't playing everything that I was picking up. I just didn't have the time. Gaming is a very, very time consuming and pretty expensive hobby, honestly. Um, and for me, it just came to a point that I was buying games for the collection and not really playing them. And to me, that kind of seemed a little bit pointless. So I kind of stopped. I'm not completely stopped from gaming. I do play some games from time to time, but I'm definitely more into movies. So I kind of wanted to get back and focus more on that. Retro gaming is ridiculously expensive, especially over here in Australia. Um, yeah, it's too expensive as a hobby. And I just haven't really been that impressed with this current gen of gaming as well, like the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. Games have been lacking. Like to me, there just hasn't really been any all that many amazing games this generation. So that's another reason why I've kind of lost interest in sorry, that's one reason why I've lost interest in gaming. I just haven't really been that impressed with a lot of current modern games. And there's not really anything that I'm super looking forward to in the future either. And it's sort of been that way for quite a few years now. The PlayStation 3 was amazing. Um, but the PlayStation 4 and the game library, not so much. I just think the gaming industry's in a bit of a stagnant hole right now, and there's a lack of originality. Developers, I think, are getting really, really lazy when it comes to um, releasing properly finished games. There's just way too many bugs in games nowadays, um, and there's just way too many patches that need to come later to fully complete or fix a game. I think if a game isn't fully complete when it gets launched, don't launch it. But that's just me. You only play Madden. I've never played a Madden game. I pretty much only play Call of Duty. I've never got into digital downloads, honestly, for gaming and for movies. I'm definitely more of a physical media kind of person. In saying that, though, I do watch Netflix, so I do stream a little bit, but I don't know. I'm not a fan of digital downloads. I like to have something physical to hold on to look at, to have on the shelf, to display. Um, At least if you have like something physical, like right there, there's nothing that can go wrong with it unless the disc gets damaged, obviously. But with a lot of digital stuff, like if something happens and it gets wiped, it's gone. But at least if you have like a physical format thing, you're always going to have it, if you know what I mean. No, I never got into Laserdisc. Was Laserdisc even that big over here? I honestly I can't remember that format too much. But yeah, I most certainly never got into it. I never owned a Laserdisc player. I still don't. I own a couple of Laserdiscs for the Halloween movies, but they're purely just for collectible sake. HD DVD was another format that I never got into either, and again, I don't know how popular that was over here. I've only really been primarily into three formats: VHS, which I didn't really own, but I used to rent a lot, DVD and Blu-ray, and now 4K. But yeah, I never got into Betamax, Laserdisc, or HD DVD. HD DVD was a weird format. That really didn't take on at all. I think Laserdisc lasted a little bit longer, but I'm not that knowledgeable on Laserdiscs. Before I worked at Cashies, I walked into a store and they did not know what the player was, so they sold it. That's pretty good. Horror DVD, are you subscribed to Explosive Action? Because he is more familiar with Laserdisc than me. He owns a Laserdisc player and he knows a little bit about the format. I pretty much know next to nothing about it, other than the discs are the same size as vinyl records, which is kind of crazy. Blu-ray's good, but the funny thing over here in Australia with Blu-ray, despite how long it's been out, it still hasn't quite hooked on. I don't know why. It's really, really weird. Like, we get a lot of Blu-ray releases, but we also get a lot of DVD-only releases of newer movies that only get a DVD release over here and don't get a Blu-ray release, which is kind of weird. So why Blu-ray is a really, really popular format, in a lot of ways, it's never really caught on like DVD has, at least over here in Australia, which is kind of interesting. Like DVDs are still getting released, and some over here in Australia, and sometimes they're getting released instead of a Blu-ray. I think a lot of that comes down to how popular the movie is as well. Like if it's a sort of a lesser known non-theatrical film, it tends to only get a DVD release over here. But if it's a more popular movie, then it gets a Blu-ray. DVD outsold, yeah, I know, that is crazy. Me personally, like a lot of people, like I'm on a website called Blu-ray.com, and like it's a forum website for movies, obviously. And there's an Australian forum to that website, and the amount of people there that truly dislike DVD is pretty crazy. I'm not really a format snob. I don't have an issue with DVD. There's a lot of horror movies, especially, that are still on DVD that don't have a Blu-ray release that I absolutely love. And I don't have an issue with with DVD. I still pick them up. I still think they are a good format. I think they are probably the most revolutionary format because the difference between VHS to a DVD is, in my opinion, a lot bigger than a DVD to a Blu-ray. So I think release-wise, DVD has had the most impact between formats, if you guys know what I mean. And they are super cheap to pick up nowadays, which is really, really good. But I know a lot of people, especially on that Blu-ray.com site, that refuse to pick up a DVD, and they would rather not have the movie if it doesn't have a Blu-ray release, which I just think is ridiculous. because you're missing out on some awesome movies just because you refuse to watch a DVD is pretty stupid to me. I know we went hard on Blu-ray for a while, but they cut back during. Yeah, Blu-ray's been interesting over here in Australia. Like I can still remember when it first came out, it was pretty expensive and it was super popular for a while, probably like the first couple of years. Then it kind of dropped off a little bit. But then in the past, probably 3 to 5 years, especially horror wise, I've noticed we're now finally starting to get a lot of old horror movies released on Blu-ray, like from companies like Umbrella Entertainment and Cult Cinema, which is awesome. But yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting format over here. I like Prometheus. I love the first two Alien movies, like Alien and Aliens. Amazing. I did not like Alien Covenant whatsoever. That was a big disappointment for myself. Um, Horror DVD and Adam, do your local JB Hi-Fis have a horror section? Because the one that's an hour away from me has like a basically half a row dedicated to horror movies, which is pretty cool. I really should film in there one day, but every time I go in there, there's too many people around, and I'm kind of a little bit self-conscious, and I don't even know if you're actually allowed to film in there either. But yeah, my local JB has a pretty good um, horror section and a really good movie section in general, actually, which is pretty cool. See, for you, horror DVD, living in Brisbane, you'd have a lot of different JB Hi-Fis. I kind of like the two JB Hi-Fis that are in this inner city in Brisbane, especially the one where you have to go down the stairs. That one's pretty cool. And I think the other one you have to go up the stairs. But yeah, there's a lot in Brisbane, and I'm sure there's a lot in Melbourne as well. There's 7 in Brisbane. Is that all? Wow. I thought there'd be a lot more than that. There's 3. No, I think there's about 4 up the Gold Coast. I think maybe 5, but I think there's definitely 4 though. 7 within 25. Holy fuck, dude. Wow. That is awesome. There was actually one meant to open in a town 30 minutes away from where I am, but that was a couple of years ago now, and I haven't really heard anything of that since, which sucks because I'd probably maybe even try and get a job there would be pretty cool. I'd love to work in the DVD section or the movie section. That would be awesome. But 7, wow, dude. Have you seen the assembly cut of Alien 3? No, I haven't. I'm not a big fan of Alien 3 or Alien 4. I'd go broke, probably. But it would be so awesome working there, though. Plus, you don't even have to wear a uniform, which is awesome. I can remember when I used to live in Brisbane, horror DVD. I remember the Indooroopilly JB Hi-Fi being really, really good, and the one at Chermside I think is also pretty good as well. And as I already said, the 2 in the inner city are pretty cool. Oh, I forgot all about the new Terminator film when we were talking earlier about the movies. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. I am a fan of the Terminator franchise. Adam, are you still there or have you gone, mate? 99% of the people that work at JB are casuals. Oh, fuck that. No, I'd need, if I was to ever work somewhere, it'd have to be a permanent position. I couldn't do casual. Adam, I wanted to ask you, this is not movie related, and even you, Horror DVD. Are either of you guys fans of AFL? And if so, what team do you go for? Ooh, the Hawks, Tigers. I go for the Giants, by the way. And if I was to pick another team from Melbourne, it would be Essendon. I like Essendon. But yeah, I'm a Giants supporter. They're going really well at the moment, actually. So hopefully that continues. NRL, you go for Manly. Nice. I'm not really big into NRL anymore. I used to be. But if I was to pick an NRL team, it'd be Parramatta, who are doing decent at the moment. I mean, they lost pretty bad at the weekend, but they're doing a lot better than they were last season. And Manly are doing pretty good as well. My manager at work goes for Manly. He's a big Manly supporter. And I used to like Manly when Menzies played for them. Para, I'll have to unsub. Oh, come on, dude. Come on, dude. You know it's going to be a Parramatta Manly final this year, and you know Parramatta's going to win. Just saying. I'm calling it right now. Calling it right now. Yep. I love Terminator 2. It's my favorite within the franchise. Adam, I'm going to have to remove you from the stream, mate. I'm sorry. Remove, unsubscribe, unsubscribe. I hate I hate the Storm. My two least favorite NRL teams are the Storm and Bulldogs. Storm are just a pain in the ass. Like they need to fuck off out of the competition, honestly, because they're always up the top and they're just annoying. You don't like the Broncos? Horror, wow, when you're from Brizzy. The Broncos aren't doing. I don't mind the Broncos. I mean, I've never been a big supporter of them, but they're doing really bad this season at the moment. Really bad. Um, Adam, you must have been really happy a couple of years ago when Tigers won the premiership. And it even looked like they were possibly going to win it last year too, actually. But West Coast won it, which was good. I like West Coast. But hopefully the Giants win it this year. They've come close, kind of, a couple of times. And they're kind of up there as the favourites to win this year, but we'll see. Yeah, didn't Tigers make the semi-finals last year? I'm pretty sure. See, that's good. Like the year before they won, and then the year after they made the semis. That's pretty consistent. They're kind of having a roughish start to this season, though, aren't they? I think. Yeah, Giants have already played them, I think, and they bet them. Actually, I'm just going to have a quick look at the table, see where they're at. Yeah, Hawthorn, the Hawks are ninth, and Richmond are 13 at the moment. And Giants are second place. Giants got so, I don't know if either of you watched the Giants game on Saturday, but fucking hell, that was edge of your seat stuff for me. They got so lucky at the end with a couple of penalty kicks their way, and their defense was really, really good. That game was so close. So close. No, I have not seen Leprechaun Returns. I want to, though. It looks really, really good. And Brad loves that movie. Bronco Juggalo talks that movie up something wicked, and I definitely want to see it. I don't think it's got a local release here, so if the movie doesn't have a local release over here, I get kind of lazy nowadays when it comes to picking it up, because I can't be bothered importing films a lot of the times nowadays. But it's definitely one that I want to check out at some point, though. It looks good. But believe it or not, I don't think I've ever seen any of the Leprechaun films. I own the box set. I just have never watched any of them. I think I might have seen the first one, but I don't think I've seen any of the sequels. Yeah, Leprechaun Returns, David. It came out last year. There was some eBay, but one of 35. Yeah, $35 is way too much. Way too much. Nowadays, I kind of struggle to pay 20 to 20. Sorry, nowadays I struggle to pay anything more than $20 to $25 for a movie, depending what movie it is. No, I think I may have seen the first Bushmaster movie, but I don't really remember too much about that one. Surprisingly, like, despite my collection, there is quite a lot of movies that I own that I have not seen, which is kind of bad. I definitely buy more movies than I watch for the most part, and I tend to rewatch a lot of movies rather than watching stuff that I have never seen before, which is kind of bad. But it is what it is. I will say though, the Horror Man Slashback Challenge is really helping me with that, because I'm actually watching movies for the first time, which is a really good thing because, yeah, as I said, I've got way too many movies that I've never seen before, and some pretty popular ones that I've never seen before, like this one, for example, right here. Time's a big thing. Like, people think that a 2-hour movie, like, isn't really that time consuming, and in the grand scheme of things, it's really not. But I have a lot of other things to do during the day. Like, sure, I put a lot of time into YouTube, and I probably put a little bit too much time into YouTube sometimes, especially in terms of what I watch, because I spend a lot of time on YouTube. But by the time I shoot the video, upload the video, go to work, obviously do other activities, do adult stuff like paying bills, cleaning, looking after the house, there's not a lot of time. So a lot of the times I don't get to sit down and watch as many movies as I'd like to, unfortunately. Ginger Snaps. That is one that I've never seen either. I do own it though, but $1 is really, really good for that one. Now, Adam, I wanted to tell you something. You know how we were talking in the past about how long it takes to film a video? Sometimes it takes a long time. Like for me, if I upload a 5-minute video, it's not unusual that one 5-minute video has taken me an hour, well, half an hour to an hour to film. Because sometimes I'm not happy with what I've said, or I get halfway through the video and I make a mistake and I have to redo it. Yeah, videos are time consuming, and I don't think a lot of people that don't make videos get that. Like, they see a 3-minute video or a 5-minute video and think, oh, it's only taking this person 5 minutes to film and a short amount of time to upload, but that is not the case. Because, as I said, I very rarely do a video in one single take. And then by the time you edit it and then upload it, because my internet is shit. Like, we don't even have NBN yet, so for a 5-minute video, it normally takes about half an hour to upload that. So yeah, it's time consuming, but it's worth it. I love doing it. But yeah, it's just something that I don't think a lot of people quite understand, that making videos takes a lot of time, and you can't just basically, there's no such thing as a 10-minute video. There's not. Have you noticed a major difference, Horror? Because I've been hearing a lot of mixed things. Like, they're working on NBN in my area now. We're meant to get it in early June. There's a plan that I think we're going on that's about 40 megabytes per second, which seems pretty good, and it's like a hell of a lot faster than what we are on now. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I think it's going to make, especially uploading videos, a lot quicker. Hopefully, streaming's a little bit more easier, although I'm kind of surprised that this stream's gone so well. There hasn't been any technical issues. See, the thing with our internet, like, if I'm online, my partner can't really be online at the same time because it goes super slow. And gaming is difficult. Like, I get lag a lot. So I'm really hoping that the broadband is a big improvement on that, especially for downloading and uploading times, because that's super slow. Have you bought any of the Eureka classics? No, that is one I've heard of Eureka, but I'm not familiar with that label whatsoever, and I don't own anything. Who is better, Carpenter versus Craven? Carpenter by a long shot. Apart from Wes Craven's more popular movies, like The Nightmare on Elm Street, I'm not overly familiar with a lot of other stuff that he's done. In saying that, though, I definitely like People Under the Stairs. And did he do Deadly Friend? Deadly Blessing, sorry. Deadly Blessing, I also like that one as well. But yeah, I definitely prefer Carpenter. Like, Halloween, The Thing, The Fog, they are 3 of my all-time favorite horror films. And I just think John Carpenter has had such sorry, I think John Carpenter has had a lot more influence within the horror genre, because I think Wes Craven's only really major masterpiece was A Nightmare on Elm Street. Whereas I think John Carpenter has had more quality movies, I guess. I've never seen Red Eye. That's the one on the plane, right? So, David, Horror DVD and Adam, I have a question for you. What is your favorite horror movie of all time? You have tattoos, horror? Oh, that's pretty awesome. I don't have any tattoos, but if I was to get any, it would definitely be something horror related, I think. I agree, Titanic, the effects in the thing are amazing. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, nice, nice, nice. Yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I have a lot to say on that franchise as a whole. Such a shame. That franchise, in my opinion, really should have been up there in terms of quality with the Friday the 13th franchise and the Halloween franchise, but they just went in way too many different directions. And that sequel, TCM2, was an absolute joke. Yeah, the franchise is just way too inconsistent. At least with the Halloween franchise, despite there being several different storylines, at least 2 to 3 movies kind of follow the same story. So there is a little bit of continuity within that franchise. And even in the Friday the 13th franchise, for the most part, and in a couple of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies as well. But with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I like some of the movies, like the original. The original is fucking amazing. I hate Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 with a passion. TCM3 is pretty good. Part 4 is terrible. The beginning is amazing. I need to rewatch the remake because it's been quite a while. But when I initially watched it, I wasn't a big fan of it because I didn't really like the tone of the movie. Not the tone of the movie, but I felt that it was too polished, too modern looking, and I did not like the look of Leatherface's mask. But going against popular opinion, I thought Texas Chainsaw 3D was pretty good. Did have some missed opportunities, but it was still pretty good. And I quite liked Leatherface. I liked how they went in a different direction with that one. But I think if they'd kept the at least the first 4 movies of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre series in the same vein and tone as the original, it would have been amazing. But unfortunately, they didn't. The Freddy glove, that would be awesome. And so would the Jason mask. Lords of Salem. Wow, really? I did not like that movie whatsoever. If I was to get one horror tattoo, it'd be a toss up between 2 things. It'd be a toss up between the Chucky Jack in the Box image from the Child's Play 2 cover or the classic image of the pumpkin and knife from Halloween. It'd be one of those 2 that I would get. The the beginning of Resurrection is pretty good with Jamie Lee Curtis, and after that, it's shit. Did you like? Yeah, I didn't mind Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. I didn't mind that. I thought the characters were pretty good, but it's been a while since I've seen that one, so I don't remember it too well, but I can remember thinking it was pretty good. The Texas Chainsaw 4 is just a bad movie. Trick or Treat, yeah, that is an absolutely amazing horror anthology. I love that one. Or are you thinking of the 80s one with Ozzy Osbourne? Rad, yes, I have. I actually have a um, burnt DVD of Rad. I love Rad. One of my favorite movies from the 80s. But when it comes to BMX movies, it's BMX Bandits all the way for me. BMX Bandits is my favorite Australian movie of all time. I love that movie. I love the producer's cut of Halloween 6. Halloween 6 to me is a really underrated Halloween sequel. I think it's absolutely awesome. I think Michael, the portrayal of Michael in Halloween 6 is amazing. I love the lighting. There's some really brutal kills in that movie. The characters are really, really good. And the mask. Halloween 6 mask is my favorite Halloween Michael Myers mask of all time. There's portions of the theatrical cut that I like, but for the most part, I prefer the producer's cut. No, I have not heard about that Halloween 5 lost footage. I'm not a fan of Halloween 5. I don't like the mask. Um, Halloween 4 mask is the worst. I agree. I like Halloween 4 as a movie. I think it's a really, really good film, especially like the whole Halloween vibe, and it's got good atmosphere. But that mask, though, yeah, the mask is pretty bad. No, I did not know that about Halloween 5. That's interesting. Thoughts on Halloween 3? Not a fan. Someone asked me that earlier in the stream, Adam, before you came in, but yeah, I don't like Halloween 3. And no, it's not because Michael Myers isn't in it. I just don't think it's a good 80s standalone horror. I don't know. I just don't think it's a good movie. I will give it credit. I think the soundtrack is really, really good. And I do like the masks within that movie. But other than that, I don't think it's a good 80s horror movie. I don't like it. I don't think it holds up very well. It's definitely a product of its time, in my opinion. Yeah, that Silver Shamrock song is awesome. That's pretty interesting. I'm all for different cuts of Halloween films getting released. And I especially want an alternate cut of the 2018 movie because I know for a fact that other scenes were shot that weren't put in the movie. And I think with a few edits and a few changes with some alternate scenes, it could be a better movie. Paul, hey Andrew, how you been, mate? I've been pretty good. How have you been, Paul? Sorry, guys, my throat is getting really dry, so I'm just going to quickly grab another drink. So I will be back in a second. Okay, so who wants some ASMR drinking sounds? No, I'm just kidding. Movie review time. How you doing, mate? I am doing really, really well. I've noticed you've been banging out those videos recently, so I've got a bit of catching up to do. Paranormal Activity. That is one franchise that I despise big time. I remember watching the first Paranormal Activity movie, like I never saw it in theaters, but I watched it fairly recently after it hit Blu-ray, and I thought it was pretty stupid. And then I watched part two, and part two was really, really boring, and I've never bothered with any of the other sequels. To me, the Paranormal Activity franchise is a very basic, watered down, mainstream franchise for the masses, and I don't really care for it whatsoever. And it kind of came out in the time period where modern horror was kind of stagnant, so I don't think that helped much either. Do you like ASMR, Adam? Cujo, I really, really like Cujo. I like a lot of Stephen King movies in general, like Children of the Corn, Christine, Cujo, Stand By Me. What did you eat while you watched the movie? Which movie are we talking about, Jay? And I'm drinking iced tea right now. Michael Myers ASMR. That'd be just him heavy breathing. He does do ASMR. He doesn't talk at all. I saw that release. Well, I haven't physically seen that release, but I have seen pictures of that release online, Titanic, and it does look pretty good. The artwork is really, really good. I actually own the out of print Lionsgate Blu-ray for Cujo, and I believe Vinegar Syndrome re-released it. Um, but yeah, I'm not sure if I'll bother picking up the Eureka release. What did I eat while watching Cujo? I have no idea because I haven't seen Cujo in years. And I probably wasn't eating anything because normally when I watch movies, I don't really snack or anything like that, actually. Yeah, I've been hearing that across the board movie review time that most people still prefer the original. I'm still really keen to check out the Pet Sematary remake, though. I think it looks absolutely awesome. And it's actually been a while since I've seen the original, so it'll be interesting rewatching that and then comparing that one to the remake. Okay, Jay, I am sorry if you're being serious, but I think you are trolling a little bit, so I'm going to be removing you from the stream. I haven't seen Jeepers Creepers 3. Um, and I've seen Jeepers Creepers, but that was years ago, but I can remember thinking it was pretty good. Yes, I have seen Jewel, and I do like it. Funny you should mention Slender Man. I just got around to watching the real life documentary with those two 12-year-olds that killed, well, not killed, but stabbed their best friend over in America, all to do with the Slender Man on TV. But I haven't seen the movie, but I've heard the movie's terrible, so I've never bothered with it. But interesting character, Slender Man. And I think if done right, it could make for a pretty interesting horror character because the whole concept behind it, I think, is pretty creepy and disturbing. But from what I've heard, the movie was pretty poorly executed. But I think if they followed more along the same lines as the true case over in America, which I'm not sure if they could actually do due to rights or anything like that, and I actually feel they'd have a bit of issues with that. But if it was more in kin with that, I think the movie could be pretty good. Or if they made it into a slasher, I think Slender Man could be a pretty creepy slasher character. I'm not a fan of the Blair Witch Project movies. Do not like those whatsoever. Velvet Buzzsaw? No, I haven't. Is that the one where I think I've heard of it? Is that the one where the woman is stuck in the limousine? I'll just look Velvet Buzzsaw up to see if it is the one that I'm thinking it is. No, it's not. Yeah, I just looked Velvet Buzzsaw up. Sorry, it's a different movie than I was thinking of. I haven't actually heard of that before, but I did notice that it has Jake Gyllenhaal in it. Zodiac, that's a great movie. Great movie. Terror Train, yep, I wouldn't say it's an absolutely top tier slasher, but Terror Train is pretty good. I love the setting. The setting is really good, and I love the fact that the killer has multiple disguises throughout the film, and Jamie Lee Curtis is in it as well. But it's definitely worth adding to the collection if you are a big slasher fan. Yeah, Zodiac is really long, but I agree, it feels a lot shorter than it is. So well done. I fucking love serial killer movies in general, like, and there's actually been some really good ones come out of Australia too. Snowtown and Hounds of Love. Hounds of Love, if you guys have not seen that, that movie is fucking amazing. And it has probably the most realistic character betrayals that I've ever seen in a horror movie. And Adam, I know you've seen it. Horror DVD, are you familiar with the Bernies from Perth from the 1980s? Have you heard of that case before? Where they kidnapped, tortured, raped, and murdered several young women. And then I'm sure you've heard of Snowtown about the bodies in the barrel murders. Yeah, the Wolf Creek movies are classics movie review time. And if you're not aware, they're actually loosely based off another serial killer case from Australia. The guy was called Ivan Milat, and he used to pick up and murder hitchhikers. So the movie is loosely based on that. Snowtown is a great movie. It's a very hard watch though. All those movies are great for tourism. Yeah. See, the funny thing is, like, especially a lot of Americans, and I'm not calling them out for this because, like, I have stereotypical opinions on America and stuff like that. But it's funny because when they watch Wolf Creek and movies like that, they actually think that a lot of Aussies are like that, and like Crocodile Dundee, they think all Australian blokes are like that. It's kind of funny. When really it's kind of the complete opposite. Valentine, David, I don't know if you've been watching my slasher reviews as part of the Slashback challenge that the Horror Man's doing, but I actually reviewed Valentine, and that was actually a first time watch for me, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good slasher movie from that time period that I think holds up pretty well. And I liked the concept, I liked the killer, and I liked the kills as well. The ending was a little bit predictable, but other than that, I thought it was a good movie. Horror DVD and Adam, or anyone else as well, have you guys seen The Reef and Storm Warning and Rogue? Yeah, I'm not saying don't have a brain movie review time, but it's just funny how certain stereotypes that are shown in movies, people from other countries think that that is pretty much what a certain country is like. And I mean, I'm going to be completely honest, I am guilty of that as well, especially when it comes to some American culture like the Bible Belt and stuff like that. Rednecks out in the woods and all like inbred stuff and all that, which I know is probably a load of bullshit. But just from the movies, you sort of wonder if anything like that actually goes on out in the backwoods of America. So there's stuff like that, you know. The Reef is amazing. The Reef is actually my favorite shark movie next to Jaws. I absolutely love it. Rogue's really, really good. Storm Warning, Adam, you need to check that one out. It's a really good revenge movie, and the gore is really good on that one. You would never love in Maine in the USA. Why is that horror DVD? The Reef's really underrated, but I think it is so well done, and the fact that they actually use real sharks is great. For me, it's a very simple movie, but it's done right. Um, and it has really good tension. So for me, it works really, really well. A lot of shark movies I feel are just way too cheesy for their own good, and it kind of ruins it. Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm a massive fan of, I guess, the shark genre. I just feel that for the most part, it goes way too comedic. There's another Australian shark movie called Bait, which was actually filmed about an hour away from where I live, and I wasn't a fan of that one. Um, no, it's not a comedy or anything. It's a pretty serious one. It's about a shark being stuck in a shopping center with people, but I wasn't a big fan of that one. Deep Blue Sea, I think I've seen that, but I don't really remember too much about that one. They filmed in Miami. Really? I thought some of it was filmed at Coolangatta though too, horror DVD. I remember that. But that is fucking awesome, dude. If a movie was shot right in front of your auntie's house. That is so cool. There's only been one movie that I know of, at least, that's been shot here where I live, and it's one with Tony Collette called Mental. Most of it was filmed up in Tweed Heads, but there's a couple of scenes that were filmed where I live, which was pretty cool. And then there was another movie called Occupation, which came out last year. It's a science fiction movie that was filmed up in Murwillumbah, which is about 45 minutes away from where I am, which was cool. I've been there a few times, so I was pretty familiar with a lot of locations. But I love movie locations, especially when you know or you've been to the location and you can recognize it straight away. It's just that stuff's just awesome to me. Did I like Ghost Ship? Yes, I did. I think part of that was filmed at Warner Brothers Studios on the Gold Coast, if I'm right. But yeah, Ghost Ship was pretty decent. It's 2 a.m. here. I am going to get some sleep, bro. Just wanted to stop by and say what's up. Thank you so much, Movie Review Time, for being part of the stream. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will catch you later. So, Adam, what are you up to tonight? I'm I'm definitely going to be watching one of these movies tonight. Maybe two. I'll probably end up watching two of them. It is holy fuck. I have nearly been streaming for 3 hours. That is crazy. So I will be wrapping up the stream probably within the next 10 minutes. It is going on 20 past 5 here on Monday evening. Titanic, are you from Australia? And that is crazy, David. 3:16 a.m. I will be asleep at that time. You're in Iceland? Holy fuck, dude. That is awesome. Wow. What's the horror scene like over there, dude? Like, do you get a lot of horror releases over there, or do you guys have to import? And is there a large horror fan base over there? Yeah, well, over here in Australia, we used to pretty much have to import a lot of stuff like 5 years ago, approximately, but now it's gotten a lot better with a couple of labels who release a lot of stuff over here. But back in the day when I sort of first started my YouTube channel, importing was the only option. So I definitely can relate. I understand how that feels. Is there any Icelandic horror movies that have come out at all? I don't think I've seen any, actually. Harpoon. I've heard of Harpoon, but I have not seen that one. I remember getting Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 on VHS in a brown paper bag back in the day. Was that it? Was TCM2 banned here? Because the first one was banned in Queensland, wasn't it? There's been some interesting horror movie bannings over here in Australia, actually, especially in Queensland. I know Queensland had really strict like restrictions when it came to horror movie ratings and stuff like that. I know quite a few things got banned in Queensland. I think I Spit in Your Grave was banned at one point. Hellraiser 2 was banned in Queensland. Huh. What movies will I watch soon? Well, tonight I'm going to try and watch 2 movies, and it'll be 2 of these. Oh, and I'm not going to tell you guys what it is yet. Well, I might if you guys want to know. But I have a movie set out to watch for the Slashback Saturday review. So probably tomorrow I'll be watching that. So if you guys want a little sneak peek of what it is, let me know. Uh, Nightmare on Elm Street 3. I love that movie. I used to hate it, but now I absolutely love it. Okay, I will be reviewing Candyman. Candyman is the movie that I will be watching and reviewing for Slashback Saturday. I've only seen it once before, and I can remember being a little bit underwhelmed with it, but that was probably close to 10 years ago since I've seen it. So I am looking forward to rewatching it. You hated Candyman. Oh, fuck. I hope I like it more than I did the last time, but we'll see, especially after last week. Last week's review was a fucking shocker for me. I hated the movie that I chose. So I'm really wanting to review something that I like this time. Yeah, even just to hear my thoughts, horror DVD. Because as I said, the first time that I watched it, but this is going back 10 years, so my opinions hopefully have changed, but I do remember finding it a little bit underwhelming. But we'll see. Hopefully, I like it a lot more this time around. Nope, I am not going to watch The Dentist 2. Oh, Hugh, welcome back, mate. Sweet, we'll catch you all later. The grubs are asking for food. Okay, horror DVD, thank you very much. I'll only be on probably for another 5 minutes anyway. So, horror DVD, thank you for stopping by and thank you for your interaction. Yep, I've seen Ice Cream Man, David. That movie's okay. I'm not a massive fan of 90s horror for the most part. There's a few that I do like, but it's it's hard for me to explain, but there's just something about 90s horror that I just don't like. Um, I don't I don't think a lot of them hold up very well. Um, but Ice Cream Man, I can remember being pretty decent. Krampus, have I seen Krampus? I think so. There's a couple of Christmas-themed movies that I get kinda confused with each other. It's between Krampus and The Last Horror Story. Or no, sorry, Christmas Horror Story, I believe. And I kinda get those 2 mixed up. Yeah, it's either Krampus I've seen or A Christmas Horror Story, and whichever one it was, I didn't like. Anyway, guys, I'm probably going to call it. Um, this stream has been awesome. This has been my first official stream, so I just wanna thank everyone. Oh, hang on, dude. Hugh, what was the last Halloween movie you watched? I watched Part 6 last night. I fucking loved I love Halloween Part 6. The thing with Halloween 6 is it used to get shit on a lot, but I've noticed a lot of people here on YouTube recently absolutely love it, which is awesome. It's one of my favorite sequels. It actually has my favorite Michael Myers mask. I love the Part 6 mask. I like the storyline. I love the lighting in Halloween 6. I love the blue tone. The kills are awesome, and I like the story. So yeah, Halloween 6 is awesome. Which cut do you prefer, the theatrical or the producers? I like both cuts of the movie. There's parts of the theatrical that I like, especially towards the end, but probably overall I prefer the producer's cut. Hang on, Adam, I haven't gone completely. I'm wanting to stay a little bit longer because Hugh has just returned. So I want to give him the opportunity to say a few things before I leave. Okay, bye, David, and bye, Titanic. Titanic, yes, I plan to do some more streams because this one has worked out really, really well. Streaming is a little bit difficult for me, however, because I only can really stream when I'm home by myself. My partner's gone away for a few days, so I have the house to myself, so it does make it a little bit easier. But yeah, hopefully I can stream a little bit more because these are a lot of fun. Thank you so much, Titanic and David, for being part of the stream. I really appreciate it. It's been great talking to you guys. Do you like the theatrical cut more, Hugh? That's interesting. As I said, there's a few scenes towards the end of the theatrical cut that I prefer, but I definitely prefer the producer's cut overall. For me, the perfect cut for me of Halloween 6 would be kind of like a combination of the theatrical cut and the producer's cut put together. I think I actually ranked part 3. It was definitely me it was definitely in my top 5 Halloween movies, and I think it might have been ranked 3rd, I'm not sure though. But yeah, I rank that movie really high. It's definitely one of my favorite Halloween sequels. And I think more people have been exposed to it, um, especially with the Scream Factory release of Halloween 6, and now that the producer's cut has been officially available, I think a lot more people have grown to like the movie since that, which is awesome. Third watch. Yeah, I've seen all the Halloween movies many, many times, some more than others, obviously. But um, it's really interesting rewatching films, actually, especially after long periods of time, because a lot of the time, I'm just going to turn the light on, guys. Just give me a second. Now I look like a ghost. But anyway, yeah, back to what I was saying, it's interesting watching movies that you haven't seen for a while, especially within big franchises, because a lot of times I find that my opinions have changed on movies, and I like certain movies a lot more than I used to. So yeah, that's always good. But I never used to rank Halloween 6 as high as I do now, but I love that movie so much. It's amazing. Hey, how you going, Death Central? Unfortunately, Death Central, I'm just about to finish the stream in a few minutes because I have been streaming for quite a while. But thanks for stopping by. And Death Central, if there's anything you want to ask me, you can quickly ask before I finish up. See you later, David. Thank you for stopping by. I really need to watch the Leprechaun movies. I own all of them, well, apart from Leprechaun Returns, and I I think I've seen the first Leprechaun movie, but I don't really remember it, and I certainly haven't seen any of the sequels, so I need to get onto that. But those movies have been getting a lot of um, attention here on YouTube recently. Have you seen? Yeah, I've seen the Critters series. Um, I like the Critters movies, especially the first two. And I think the third one, or whichever one with Leonardo DiCaprio in the apartment block, I can remember that one pretty good as well. But yeah, the Critter movies are good fun. They were actually horror movies that I saw pretty early on when I was a kid, just getting into horror. Um, and yeah, I've always enjoyed them. I think Critters 2 is my favorite. But yeah, the Critter movies are a lot of fun, and that's actually um, another lot of movies that I'd like to pick up the Blu-ray set for, because I know Scream Factory recently released them in a box set, and I think that would be worth upgrading to. But yeah, the Critter movies are good fun. Ghoulies is another series like similar to the Critters that I like. Have you seen the Ghoulies movies, Death Central? Especially the second one. The second Ghoulies movie is probably my favorite when they're in the carnival. I think that's Ghoulies too. Ghoulies go to college. I think I've only seen the first two Ghoulies movies, actually. No, I haven't seen 3 and 4. But the first two Ghoulies movies are a lot of fun, though. Not the 4, but the second, yeah, it is the best. The first is weird. And I don't really remember the first one that well. I have seen it, though, but I definitely can remember liking part 2 the best. And I haven't seen part 3 or 4. What about the Puppet Masters? Puppet Master series. What an underrated series right there. I haven't seen every single sequel, but I've seen the majority of them. And the Puppet Master series was a series that I was addicted to during high school. I used to rent out quite a few Puppet Master movies quite often, with friends and stuff like that. When we would have sleepovers, we'd rent the Puppet Master movies out quite a few times. They're really, really good. I can remember liking Puppet Master 2 the best, I think, out of that series. It's kind of funny. There's a lot of part 2s that I like the most when it comes to franchises, which is kind of interesting. But I can always remember Puppet Master 2. Puppet Master 1 and 3 were also good. I think I have seen 4 and 5, but I don't really remember them too well. and a lot of the other ones after that, the latest sequels, I haven't seen. Although Axis Rising, I think it was called, that was really, really good, and I've heard fantastic things about the one that came out last year, Littlest Reich, which unfortunately does not have a release over here in Australia, because I really want to see that one. That's meant to be really good. But yeah, the Puppet Masters are a cool franchise. Definitely the best full moon movies in my opinion. Although in saying that, another full moon movie I like is Dolls. That was really good as well. Horror Hands. Brian, what is up, dude? I might have to hang around for a little bit more because we're getting some new people in here, and I don't want to quickly stop streaming when people have just joined. I wouldn't mind a remake of Puppet Master, honestly, but I don't know if I think it's necessary because the franchise is still kind of going. I mean, we had a new movie come out last year. 4 and 5, the puppets are fucking. Oh, sorry, dude. Wow. I am so sorry, dear Central. 4 and 5, the puppets are fighting a demon with his totem pole. When the puppets fight, it's great. I don't remember 4 and 5 too much. I think I've seen them though, because I can remember renting most of them out during high school. But a little bit off topic, but Children of the Corn was another franchise that I was fucking addicted to during high school. And I know a lot of the sequels are pretty bad, but I definitely have a soft spot. That's definitely a guilty pleasure franchise for me. Like, I love the original Children of the Corn. Part 2 is really, really good. Part 3 is okay. And I didn't mind 4 and 5. The remake's terrible. And there's been a lot of the more recent Children of the Corn movies that I have not seen. I think one came out last year called Runaway, which I've heard mixed things on. I haven't seen that, and I haven't seen the one before that. But I don't know. I've always had a soft spot for the Children of the Corns. Adam, if you like the first Children of the Corn, I would definitely recommend Part 2. Part 2 is a really solid sequel, which kind of follows on directly from Part 1, like a few years later, obviously. But being completely honest, the majority of the sequels are pretty bad after that. Um, is what out on DVD and Blu-ray, David? The new Puppet Master movie? Yeah, that's out on DVD and Blu-ray. It's The Littlest Reich, that's what it's called. Haven't seen it, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. Anyway, guys, I'm going to call it now. It's nearly time for me to get my dinner ready, and I'm getting kind of hungry. And I have been streaming for quite some time now. So I'd like to thank everyone. Some more questions. What would you say is the best movie released by Full Moon? Probably either Dolls or the Puppet Master movies. I definitely think they're the best Full Moon movies. There's actually one Full Moon movie that a lot of people rate really, really highly, and that is Castle Freak, which I've never seen before, but I've heard really good things about it. But anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap the stream up here. I just want to thank everyone for coming in and being part of the stream. The stream has been going on for a long time, but the entire time we've had consistent numbers, and it's just been great hanging out and chatting with you guys on a more personal level than just in the comment section of my videos. I've had an absolute blast. I hope you guys have enjoyed it as well, and I definitely plan to do more streams in the future. So everyone, have a good night wherever you are in the world, and I will catch you guys later. Thank you for watching.